Hello, and welcome. Is that enough hellos? Probably not. Anyway, welcome to the Survivor Series 2014 WrestleSpin review podcast. It's Nintendogen64 and CrystalFissure here. And today, we're going to be talking about Survivor Series 2014, the show that was. And was it a show? Yes, it was. And it was a good show too, I thought, personally. We were talking about this before, about how like WWE was offering the show for free for new subscribers to the network, and obviously they did pull out pretty much all the stops to make the show as special as they feasibly could make it. I believe,
mainly the main event, but
as much
still.
as they could make it, like in this kind of current climate, is like, unless they brought out like Steve Austin or something. I mean, that would make it more special, but they made it as special as they could, and this, for one reason or another, will be a show that everyone needs to watch and everyone will remember forever, probably.
Yeah.
For that one moment, though, because I reckon without that one moment, or maybe two moments, I reckon the show was sort of average-ish.
Yeah.
But
It had some good moments, but there was a few issues that, like, a lot of the time what happens is they do, like, one good thing in a pay-per-view, and that determines whether it's like the best or worst pay-per-view or Raw or SmackDown ever. Right? That happens a lot of time. And I think this time is kind of an example, except for the exception that there were a few more things that were done really well that overall makes it a good show, even with a few issues.
I think it's warranted to say that those two moments made the show for me. And
Yes.
we'll talk about, hopefully, I'm pretty sure you and I have the same idea of what those two moments are.
I might have three.
3 moments?
But yeah, I might have three in particular.
Especially when we get to the main event, we'll try and breeze through the other matches and topics sort of quickly, because the main event, really, we need to devote most of our attention to, I think.
Okay.
So we'll start with the pre-show, and we saw the re-debut of Fandango.
The ring was still, apparently there was like bad traffic and I think wary stuff because of potential riots. In St. Louis, Ferguson. So like when Fandango versed Justin
Gabriel.
Wait,
who did you think it was, first of all?
Who, me?
Yeah, on our
I jokingly said it would be Steve Borden.
Oh, okay.
Debuting as Steve Bordenson in TNA.
Borden Stevens.
Borden Stevens in NXT. This is just going to be his tryout. No. So what happened was, that match was like really empty crowd and stuff like that, and it was like, honestly, Rosa is just a terrible dancer. Like you can tell this is all for Total Divas. Like I think, you know what I mean? Like honestly, it's like, the new and improved thing that maybe they're going out or something in the next season. But honestly, Fandango, they've managed to take away his catchy theme song.
Yeah.
They've made him more heel, even though he's not really doing anything heel. So no one's really got anything to support or really hate him. I mean, there's no real reason to boo him. It's just like, he's a bit of a show-off now.
He's re-debuted, but, like, he's got the same gimmick.
Except worse.
Except now it's a Latin dancer instead of a ballroom dancer.
That's it.
What's the difference? They haven't really done anything with him except taking away his catchy music.
Yeah, catchy, and kind of his goofiness of the Fandango.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
People like the goofiness. Well, he started to kind of get over in that regard with stuff like that, and there's going to be no matches like with Summer Rae and Layla. Like, even though that was a bit stupid towards the end, some of it was actually worthwhile. Do you know what I mean? In like a lower card sort of spot.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
That was pretty stock standard. I mean, Justin Gabriel is a really good wrestler, honestly. Like, that guy can really make people look good.
He's just in total jobber territory now.
Yeah, I think, one day you never know, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's not doomed. Yeah. No one's doomed, especially when you're young and that kind of thing. But
how old is he? Let's look this up.
I think he's in his 30s now, or it might be,
Yeah, but he's 33, so he's not that young.
So that is young. I mean, like, really. 30, anything below 35, I'd say would be. I mean, there's plenty of people that work a lot older. You know what I mean? Cena's 37 now.
Yeah,
38 even, I think. I don't know.
37, I'm pretty sure. But
37?
I will say this with this match is that Fandango, he wins with the top rope leg drop. He needs to not do that move. That is gonna kill his hip in the future.
It looks like it killed Gabriel too.
But seriously, Hulk Hogan is in like this horrible state with his back and his hips and his legs and stuff. And you can see like the way he walks. Like he walks very upright and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's got this thing in his back to stimulate his spinal cord
Hmm.
because he's got a lot of back problems, and that's just from doing his regular leg drop for all those years.
Yeah.
This guy is doing it from the top rope.
Yeah, that looked
It,
big.
and it does look impressive, but I think it's gonna end up hurting him in the long run.
I hope not, but yeah, it could. I don't know. It might not be permanent. I mean, we'll see how it goes. And then Cesaro comes out, cuts a promo about not being American, which of course, from a St. Louis crowd, gets a lot of boos because they're a bunch of idiots, to be
Yeah.
honest. Oh God, I hate patriotism and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm probably pissed off a lot of viewers there, but like, God, chanting USA, God, give me a rest.
Hmm.
Like, seriously, honestly, like, it's funny, like, Rusev and that, like, they do it the wrong way, but they're getting booed for just liking their own country. Do you know what I mean? Like, like, I just don't understand why people have such this irrational attachment to the place that they live in, like, a really, really stupid
Well,
sense. Like,
it's
it's not
total
log.
chance that you're born where you were born, isn't
That's
it?
it, exactly. It's total chance,
It's like
yeah.
oh, it's like is Australia really? I like the thing that we don't really have that sort of patriotism. Like we have no real
Yeah,
sense of
unless we're being absolutely like annihilated and attacked by people that don't know better, then yeah, we're not just going to be like,
because
oh yeah, this is the greatest thing.
because no one really like is. I mean, Australia we like our country, but we don't like have this weird overly patriotic sense of it, which is
Yeah.
good. We're very multicultural over here, and I mean, I don't see what the point is in worshipping the soil that you were born on because it's just total chance that you were even born in the first
Yeah,
place. So
yeah.
why is it suddenly you feel ownership of the country? Anyway, that's an aside. Jack
But yeah, so the
Swagger,
point is that yeah, Jack
yeah,
Swagger comes out, beats him,
yeah.
and like
Look, I'm gonna, yeah.
Zeb comes out, and I'm just like, oh my God, shut up, you old man. Like I'm just like,
At this
oh
point,
my
yeah.
God, like so what? Like you keep talking about how good Switzerland is. Maybe because Switzerland is pretty cool. You probably wouldn't know. I mean, this is in character, of course,
Yeah.
but it's like, fuck it, now,
And
shut
the thing
up.
with this is that look where Cesaro is just falling and tumbling down the carpet.
Everyone's trying to convince me, that like he's not being like marginalized. He's just a jobber to the main event. But no, if you're losing to Swagger, like
Now,
you,
just
nah,
Swagger is
I look
looking
pretty
like
sure.
he's rekindling his feud with Rusev, judging by what happened on Raw the following night. So if he's jobbing to Swagger now, it's like he's jobbing to a guy who's gonna ultimately job to someone else.
Yeah.
Like so he's jobbing to a jobber to the stars, basically.
He's basically lower mid card at this point.
Yeah, he's
I think
basically
people
upper
people want to
under. Yeah.
tell themselves that he's like upper mid card, but just losing. But no, I think he's definitely the mid or low mid card.
Well, look, there's a
Like,
reason Luke Harper is in the Authority and he's not. That clearly the WWE has. If I was gonna say, like, if you were gonna have someone be in Team Authority that wasn't like often associated with the Authority, I would probably say put Cesaro. He'd kind of fit that mold. But to be honest, his credibility is totally shot. That
yeah,
if he was to be in Team Authority, he would probably be the one who got KO'd by Big Show in the first instance.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so the show properly kicks off with a 15-minute or so Raw promo about how, if Authority loses, then they're out of power. This is by Mr. McMahon, by the way. He comes out and does this promo. And the only one who can put them back into power is John Cena, right? And so immediately, as a wrestling fan, I'm starting to think angle. John Cena is
Mm,
going to turn heel and he's gonna put them back in power. Ultimate heel move, sort of thing. But
yeah.
I don't know what the point of that was.
I don't know, but they kept mentioning it the night after too.
Yes,
I don't know. They could.
because I mean, just to me, the whole
WWE
idea.
don't know subtlety.
Yeah, but to me, the idea that John Cena now has all this unwieldy power that he can choose who the general manager of Raw is, right? He can put people back in power, and he's taken them all out of power, that kind of thing. And he's also got the ability to challenge for titles. He's the number one contender. What the hell does this guy have left to do? Like he is the obstacle at this point.
Yeah.
He should be
He. Yeah.
the guy that everyone wants to, take down, basically. He's like so high up there now. He has so much power and everything. Like what, he's like he is now essentially almost the heel of the storyline.
Yeah. I definitely agree.
The Authority are the underdogs now, if you think about it.
Yeah.
John Cena has now become the heel of the whole thing. So anyway, so that promo, which I don't know, they could have just done on Raw for some. I don't know why they didn't do it on Raw. They decided that now was a good time to do it, and you're reiterating the point that if Cena's team loses, then everyone but Cena gets fired, which is a thing that I wasn't entirely clear on why, but I guess
That's the point. This whole thing just exposes them, I think, to like John Cena. Like, let's not be kidding ourselves. That guy is just a complete and utter, to me, just a cancer to everything. Like, he's got all the power. He's the one that gets all the credit. He is the one that does all this stuff. And then everyone, everyone always says, well, the reason why he's on top is because he's the one that sells the most merch and all that stuff. Yet he's the only one that even has an extensive line of merch. So, like, if you keep on promoting some guy as being at the top, right, and then making everything all about him, merch, TV, everything in general, then obviously the majority of the casual audience is going to gravitate to him. But if you push someone else, right, at a similar level, and hopefully I just want them to do this with someone like Ziggler or Ambrose or something like that, then eventually you're going to start to see the numbers start to swing. Do you know what I mean? They just need to actually give someone the chance to do that. And like John Cena to me is just, yeah, he was crappy in the match. I mean, we'll talk about the match later, but he didn't do shit in the match. Yet he, came out at the end to get all, credit and stuff like
But it
that.
was
And
Team Cena, so
yeah, exactly. That's just the team Cena.
Well,
He was
it should really have been
basically
Team WWE or something, or yeah, Team Superstars or something. Why is it Team Cena?
exactly that's my point. Is that
Yeah,
even though the authority claimed to hate the whole storyline really doesn't make any sense. To be honest, let's be
yeah.
honest. The way that it really happened made no
It
sense.
sort of
But
just came out of nowhere. Mr. McMahon's like, oh, by the way, you guys lose. You're out of power. Ha ha
yeah,
ha.
yeah, that's it.
Anyway, so we have that promo, and then the first match is the Fatal 4-Way match for the WWE Tag Team Championships,
Yes.
which sees The Miz and Damien Mizdow defeat Goldust and Stardust, the Usos, and Los Matadors to become the new WWE Tag Team Champions in what I thought was a very good opener and a match that really the fans, like I said last month, they only care about one and one thing only, and that's Damien Mizdow completely just overshadowing everyone with his like
Love him.
amazing gimmick of being the Miz's stunt double, and rightly deserved to win the tag team titles. And good to see Damien Mizdow actually be the guy who picks up the pinfall.
That was definitely the point. Get the big pop, get the big boo, yay cheering going with the holding up the titles,
Yeah,
and then following up with him having prop titles, like I said.
yeah. Hey,
Like,
you called it.
yeah, I called it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, I was really happy with.
And this was a good match too. I quite like this match. I think maybe there are points in the match where, like, you have one of the Lost Matadors, like, being, you just beaten down too much and that kind of stuff. And I really thought I like it how with Mizdow tag team matches where they always tease Mizdow coming in, but always, like, don't deliver it kind of thing.
That's how you get someone over more.
Yeah.
You keep doing that. You keep building to it. You keep building to it. You know what I mean? That's what they did. That's when they were building Ryder right, like
Hmm.
when they were doing it properly before it was a burial. They used to do that all the time where like he didn't get the win at Vengeance. You know what I mean? Like they cheated to Vicky like interfered and stuff to cheated to win and like on Raw and stuff like that. They had like the Jackman thing. And when the underdog finally gets the victory, it's made that much better. And yet with Cena, they always try and make him an underdog. But we all know that that's exactly not the case. And so with Sandow, it was good. It's like they keep teasing, like, here we go, here we go. Sandow finally is going to get his. We know he can do a good job. Oh, no, he gets pulled back. So that's the first time. And you're like, damn it, I really want this to happen. Does it again and again and again. And when he finally gets in, the crowd loves it. You know what I mean? And they're
Yeah.
pumped. And it's a
He,
proper way of building it.
he was on this card. I would go so far as to say he was the third most over guy on the card.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah, I think so. Or maybe third most over face because
Yeah.
there were a few heels who were quite over, I think. But Sandow is just doing a fantastic job with being handed shit and making it gold. Like
Yeah.
this guy is so good at doing that. Like
Luckily, though, this now isn't shit. They've
no,
actually recognized that it's like more than a joke. Do you know what I mean?
that's the thing. It's turned it into gold. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
he has. He turned it into gold. Like at first, I think, yeah, kind of shit. But now they are writing it like it isn't a piece of trash. They are writing it with some integrity here, I think. Some very subtle building, some jealousy, some envy, and that kind of thing. And I think that honestly, it's very well done.
Yeah,
I got to
massive.
give
Yeah, sorry, go on.
got to give him props actually.
Massive markout moment for me when he tags the Miz in, goes in and covers the guy. I was just like, because
Unfortunately, though, it comes at the expense of a really lame Stardust Goldust reign. That was a
yeah.
really terrible reign. Probably one of the worst reigns of the past few years.
Well,
Honestly, that was
Road Dogg and what's his name sucked too.
at least that kind of serves a slight purpose,
Yeah,
though.
I suppose so for the Usos, but they just went
Yeah.
on some random episode of Raw, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like at least now we have two guys because the Miz, WWE loves this guy. They always have something for him.
I like the Miz now. I've really grown
This,
on the Miz.
the ironic thing about the Miz is this is the best work of his career. Yet,
Some of the best. Oh, you weren't really around when he was actually WWE champion. He was
it was
actually really good heel back
okay.
then.
Well,
No, he really was.
okay, well, you know, I saw most of his championship run, and I just thought it was kind of like non-credible sort of thing. It's like,
Yeah, that's because it's
and the highlight of his run was that pre-WrestleMania 27 promo.
yeah.
You know, you can hate me now, but I won't stop now. That one. But yeah, like I said, like this is some of the best work is done, but Sandow is completely overshadowing him. How would you feel to be the Miz? Like obviously, like you.
No, the Miz knows this.
Yeah, but
The Miz totally knows this. The Miz totally. No, I don't think that's. This is all part of the story. You've been
I know,
worked
but
there.
what does Miz do after this? Is my question.
What does Miz do after this? Honestly, Miz can do a lot of things because the people who will love to hate the guy. He gets a reaction. Yeah, at first people didn't really know how to react to this, this Hollywood Miz thing, but now really they are getting a good reaction. And even when the Miz and him eventually split,
Yeah.
this actually benefits the Miz as much as it benefits Sandow in many ways.
Yeah, well,
Honestly.
it's an interesting gimmick, and it's one that has like
This gimmick won't disappear when Sandow goes away.
it has substance to it. I think is the best word. Like this gimmick has some substance to it, and
It was like a classic like Attitude Era storyline where everyone on the card had something to do.
yeah.
Like the kind of thing where this is just like a storyline that isn't given a heap of attention, but every time it is on TV, you look forward to it. Like these are like my top probably 2 or 3 most look forward to segments on the show.
Yeah, you're aware of it without it being hammered into you, that kind of thing.
No, they just got to keep the subtlety up. They can't be too. They can't ram it into the ground like they do with a lot of things. But I think this is good overall. Positive, good match.
Yeah, decent match, and I'm glad to see Miz and Miz.
Everyone got a spot.
Yep.
You know what I mean, Lost Matadors did some cool shit.
There was that
Gold
like
Stardust did some cool shit.
Quadruple like back suplex spot off the top rope.
Yeah,
and
they'd love to do recently.
Anyway, yeah, so decent match. Not a shitty match was the Total Divas whatever traditional.
I don't reckon it was that shit. That just seems to be circle jerk.
Did you watch this match?
I did watch it. But there wasn't actually technically there wasn't much wrong with it. There wasn't like it was.
It just went way too long, and it really served no purpose being on this card, and no one cared about the match.
Except for the actual quite thunderous reaction for Paige, actually.
Well, yeah, that's true. She did get a good reaction.
People reacted to her really well. I think because they kind of started to see, oh shit, now she's the bloody underdog. They reacted to her really well. In fact, they've been reacting to her really well the past 2 weeks.
They have actually.
She's been getting chants and stuff like that. Like honestly, if they could have had this reaction when she was the champion, that would have been great.
The best part about this match for me was Tyson Kidd, obviously.
Yeah, Tyson Kidd's great. And also, Emma actually got some exposure, which is nice.
Hey, guess what? She did the Emma sandwich, and she did the dilemma.
And people want to cheer her too. Like she actually gets a solid reaction too.
Yeah.
Like to me, Natalia just gets like a lol Bret Hart reaction.
She gets a polite reaction. They're very polite.
But Emma kind of gets these small little chances. And this is someone that really isn't on TV very often at all. No, you know what I mean? Like she's really
stars often.
Yeah. So she hasn't been done anything of note really so far, but honestly, that match gave me a little bit of hope for that. But yeah, I know what you mean. Other than that, it was a little bit. Cameron's fucking woeful.
Yeah, Cameron's woeful. And they went way too long, I thought. And
4 minutes too long.
Yeah, well, no, I think 6 minutes too long. You could have had this go maybe 7 minutes or something.
No, I guess you could.
Because I mean, in Survivor Series matches, simple moves can eliminate anyone.
Like the last year's one, which was atrocious.
But
at least it wasn't last year's one.
This was better than last year's. But I mean, I thought that the clean sweep thing was cool. I didn't mind that. I didn't mind them winning by a clean sweep because that needs to happen every now and then, I suppose.
Yeah, I guess so. As
So
long as it's sympathetic to Paige, then yes.
yeah, so faces go over in a pretty average to terrible, maybe depending on your perspective. I thought it was just there.
Hmm.
Um, 404 Traditional Divas Survivor Series Tag Team Elimination match. Anyway, a match that after that was I think this was the only male singles match on the card,
Hmm.
which was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt in
Yep.
a match that it was. I think my best way of summing up this match was it was fairly straightforward until the end. I think
Yep.
that the only thing really worth talking about this match was the finish,
Yep.
because the rest of the match was, it was pretty good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's what you'd expect out of these two guys, but the finish was really
Definitely.
good. And this is the finish I would have liked to see at WrestleMania. Because come the finish of the match, you have, Dean Ambrose. He's really irate at this point. He's kind of pissed off, and he's just taken a beating from Bray Wyatt.
What
On the
happened
steps.
again that led to the DQ?
Well, what happened was, I'll get to that. So Bray Wyatt, he uses the steel steps, and he like does his uranagi thing, and he does a slam on them, and then he gets the microphone out. It's like, it doesn't have to be like this. We could rule the
That's right.
world, man.
Yeah.
You and
Sorry.
I together, and then he throws into two steel chairs for Dean Ambrose. He's like, hit me, but join me, sort of thing. It's basically the whole like, give into your dark feelings or whatever. And this is the kind of thing they were trying to do with John Cena back at WrestleMania, where it's like, is there a monster inside John Cena? And obviously of course there isn't. But
I mean,
Dean
there is.
Ambrose,
He's bullying Tyler Rex, but yeah.
yeah, but Dean Ambrose is the kind of guy who you probably could, like, he's on that line of like, he could easily be a heel at any second,
Yeah.
but he is a face. So he batters the hell out of Bray Wyatt with the steel chair, and then he puts him on the table, puts him through a table. I think he put him through another table or something, I do believe, and then he buried him under a bunch of tables. Basically, he gets the win by DQ.
Yeah.
Oh no, Bray Wyatt gets the win by DQ. And I think it was good to kind of technically on paper give Bray Wyatt the win, but you can't bury Dean Ambrose anymore. I mean, not bury, but he's lost like the last 4 or 5 like matches on pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Like he keeps losing and losing and losing, and I just felt you kind of, in a way, he obviously lost by DQ, but he sort of won overall. And this obviously with the tables and ladders, and he gets up on a ladder, but with the tables and chairs, this kind of sets up a TLC match for them at next month's pay per view. So I was okay with that. I said in our predictions show that I felt this match was far too soon. I thought they should have built up to this, given it like a 1 month build or something. But with that being said, I thought that they did a pretty good job with the psychology of this match, and that kind of thing. And I thought that this match probably served more of a purpose of building to next match than anything.
Definitely.
Now I'm sort of interested in seeing that as a TLC
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. I mean, really, the crowd ate it up when Ambrose went mental. And, like, honestly, if they wanted to get Cena a little bit more over, they probably could have done that too. But of course, they don't. And it just makes Cena look that much worse. God, he's just so boring. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Like they could have done this with Cena. They really could have done something with Cena with that. Like, given Bray the win, but, like, Cena could have beaten the fuck out of Wyatt. Do you know what I mean? And kids wouldn't boo that because kids are booing. Kids are cheering the shit out of Ambrose right now. He's getting a great reception.
Yeah, exactly.
I maintain that he's still getting a very good reaction, despite getting a lot less, kind of priority recently, due to this feud. But honestly, the way they've been doing this now, in the past 2 times we've seen them on TV, they've definitely upped the ante now, which is good, which is what we were waiting for the first like 3 weeks of this feud.
Yep.
Now it's going to kick up, and that's going to be good. So
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing, isn't
I'm
it? Like
happy.
it's getting a bit hot now, this feud.
Yeah, that's it. It's got a reason to exist, and yeah. So good, solid match, great ending segment, and they both look good in their very own way because, Bray was asking for it essentially.
Yeah, he
Bray
was. He
was
was
saying,
asking.
"Hit me, fucking hit me." You know what I mean? Like that's. I mean, obviously, he wanted him to kind of embrace him or join him, but like at the same time, he gave him that option, and Ambrose did. So it made sense. It didn't make anyone look terrible. You know what I mean? It made Ambrose look unstable. It made Bray look like he's unable to control this crazy beast, but he's got other tricks up his sleeve, and as we saw on Raw the next night and stuff like that. So yeah, all good. Glad
Yeah,
with
yeah,
glad to
I
be
was
wrong
totally
about that, and
fine.
I was
Yeah, I was
happy with
totally
it.
fine with how this match turned out. It wasn't, a masterpiece or anything. And I think the only thing that is really worth noting is obviously the finish to it. But yeah, it was okay. It was fine. It was passable, and it was slightly above what I was expecting it to be. Um, Now we have the match that was added just randomly, the tag match, Adam Rose and the Bunny
Hmm.
defeating Slater Gator in a tag match. And the only thing I'll say about this is this Adam Rose Bunny storyline just needs to end. Just end this shit already. Who cares? It's getting to
I
the.
like the fact that they're turning Adam Rose heel though. That's good.
I do, but I think the whole bunny angle is just, it's just gone on for
Yeah,
too
they don't
long.
really need the bunny. He could rather just abuse all the rosebuds.
Yeah, that's
Like
more
he's like an
interesting. Yeah.
abusive, coked up kind of like rock star. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like that kind of that's what they could. That's what they could have done.
Yeah.
Really made him like an abusive, you know, yeah, like really
Yeah.
making him abusive piece of shit towards these guys. Like do what they're doing about, oh, you would have been at children's birthday parties.
That's a good Adam
Like
Rose actually.
what they've been doing, that kind of thing. They can still do that, but without it just being about the bunny. The bunny can even still be there, I think, but make it more about the entire group and almost make it cultish, even if it does sound a bit similar to Wyatt. That kind of thing where you have like this whole evil, like he's really starting, like the drugs are getting to him or something like
Yeah.
that. That could be interesting, but instead they're just making it lol. Bunny hits him in the balls, ha ha ha. Ha. Bunny rape, like starts to hump him and shit.
Yeah.
It's crap. It's not
Yeah.
that good.
It's cra Like, so basically, they had a promo earlier the night with some kind of super slammers bullshit. They were just like trying to like promote it or something, and then Slater Gator comes in, and they set this match up there for God knows what reason, and it's essentially just a Raw filler match, is
Yeah,
what it was. It was totally pointless.
and the
Instead of,
crowd actually starts chanting like, no, no, no.
yeah, didn't they? And
Go
then
back.
they sent chant CM Punk, or was that the following? No, was that something else?
Yeah, something else.
No, that was Fandango.
Yeah,
Fandango and Raw. They started chanting CM
yeah.
Punk. So just, I don't know. It was fine. When it was short, that's the best thing I can say about this. It was short.
Hmm.
Um,
Just a shame that they kind of wait.
yeah.
I really like Slater Gator, so I'm glad they were still there. But I
I
don't
was,
know.
I
I
was
feel like they're
surprised
not
they
really
were.
getting the right material again. Like they're naturally funny guys, and like having to make everyone job out to this little bunny thing is just a pain in the ass, like, if you ask
Yeah.
me. But yeah, so that was okay. Next match.
Oh yeah, you talk about this one because I think
Well,
you.
this was just one was just a shocker to me. Honestly, it was a genuine shocker to me. I did not expect this at all. Um, I'm sure they would have put on a decent match, you know what I mean, like within reason. And yet, apparently, in real life too, they were only told a couple minutes before that they were only be getting, this thing was going to be happening. So yeah, that shows how much respect they have for the Divas division. You know what I mean? Like, it's to me, I mean, it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's like, geez, show some respect. At least tell the women, like, the couple of days before, so they can, practice that bit. Instead of having to like basically convince them that they're going to be having a match at the second slash, we equal kind of second biggest pay per view of the year in terms of history and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
You need to think, wow, we've made it. We're having a match at Survivor Series. Instead, they give it the 18 seconds treatment. That's just no respect to the girls at all, I think. No matter if you like them or you don't. I really
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong way. But it was an interesting thing because it was parody. Well, it paralleled the whole Daniel Bryan AJ 18-second thing with Sheamus. And they
Yeah.
actually pointed that out. Um,
At least there's continuity with that in regards to
there's
that.
somewhat continuity, but like, it's like, is Brie a heel now? Or like, is it all like a big.
Yeah, because Brie seemed totally fine with Nikki now.
Including on the next episode of Raw.
Did you
So
say why?
no, we don't even know. I mean, like,
Hmm.
I don't know what this is weird. Me and you both said, oh yeah, that's it, AJ's done. But after the promo on Monday, I don't know, maybe she is staying and she's just gonna do or maybe I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's gonna happen there, actually.
Yeah, I don't know either. It's very bizarre because I
And that
thought.
whole promo to me really rubbed me the wrong way as well. Like, you're talking shit about the Bellas or whatever being face and stuff, and they've really done nothing to suggest they're only into fashion now and stuff like that.
That's
I don't know.
that's
She
very.
comes across as a real smug ass. Like, I don't know. I really don't like her character right now. I really don't like AJ anymore. I've
I,
really kind of like just
yeah.
lost my like for her, I guess.
I've said this a few times, but I really hate her promo style. I don't know. There's just a The way she sort of talks like that, I really don't like it for some reason.
Yeah, it comes across as a little bit condescending for a
Yeah,
face.
yeah, I am the Divas division. It's like that kind of thing. Yeah,
As a heel, I think it's a lot better because
yeah,
it's like annoying. It's like, oh, shut up.
yeah. I really
As a
don't like.
face, it's like,
Yeah,
as a face, it's really quite off tone
yeah.
and stuff.
And talent is not sexually transmitted. You know.
Like, if you're saying that to like Rosa Mendez and like Michael P.S. Hayes, maybe I'd get it. But
Yeah.
like the Bellas as wrestlers aren't horseshit.
But if you
They're
if you want a
not
way of
great,
yeah
but they're not, they're not like shite. You know what I mean? Their promos are crap. I don't like Bree's acting at all, but their wrestling is not 0 out of 10. That's for sure.
yeah well yeah it's slightly above
It's
4 out
possible.
of
It's
10.
possible.
It's
It's
about yeah
possible.
I will say this Nikki's getting better.
Yeah, definitely. She's got a good move set actually. I like her move set, like off the top rope
She
and
has a,
torch rack.
a distinguishable moveset. Like when you see Nikki in the ring, she doesn't wrestle like every other woman does. So
Yes, that's it.
at least but so this match was not even a match. It was
Yeah.
this a thing. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to the main event, which saw Team Cena, or should I say Dolph Ziggler, because
Team Ziggler.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about this in a minute, go over Team Authority, thus ending Team Authority's stint as the Authority in a fantastic top 10, maybe even top 5 Survivor Series matches of all time. And I've seen a lot of Survivor Series matches. I
Yeah.
thought this was tremendous. I thought this was everything that it should have been. And I thought that this is definitely, if you're going to go watch anything on this card, watch this match. I would say even like a 4.5 star if I was going to rate it.
Yeah.
This was a fantastic Survivor Series match. It had everything, I think. It had so much in it. Like it wasn't. I didn't feel it was overbooked. I didn't feel it was underbooked. I felt everything worked. You know. Starting with Mark Henry getting knocked out in like the first few seconds.
Kind of a shock. Yeah.
Kind of a shock. Interesting. And I will have to say Triple H outside was fantastic.
Oh, his acting is really
He
cool.
was fantastic in this match. He just like the way he turned like his emotions towards like what was going on, you know, in an instant was tremendous. Like, he comes out, he's all confident that his team's going to win. Mark Henry gets knocked out, and he rips his tie off, and he just
He's
looks
like, oh fuck.
totally dejected sitting there. It's like if you've ever watched any kind of like sporting event or anything, and you've been really into like a certain team, every little thing that happens, you like either like you get really on board with your team, or you really start freaking out
You just
that
start
you're
to
gonna lose.
lose, or like it's like if an example, when Adelaide United played Gamba Osaka in the Asian Champions League final in Adelaide. We went to the grand final, big match.
Yeah,
Gamba Osaka scored a goal in the first 8 minutes,
yeah,
and so everyone was like, "That's it," completely deflated, freaking out, like that's it, we're
yeah.
done, we're hopeless. And Triple H looked like that.
Yeah,
He's just like,
he
"No,
was
that's it.
tremendous in this
I'm
match,
fucking done."
and I really liked his heel behaviors of any means necessary trying to win this match.
Yeah,
I really because it just sold the fact that this was a big deal because this match felt like a big deal. I thought
yeah.
a match hasn't had this kind of big feel, big moment, big fight feel to it for a while, and I thought this match really delivered. And it was pretty even Stevens for the most part. Like you had Team Cena's Ryback get eliminated.
That was an interesting decision.
Yeah, by Rusev. I liked the decision
It
actually.
made sense though because he got curb stomped and then he got kicked. So
Yeah, sorry, go on.
it was a pretty. It's not like he looked weak. You know what I mean? Like he did take 2 finishes in a row. That is going to take out anyone, especially in a Survivor Series match.
Yeah. Also, with that elimination as well, it's like you kind of felt, oh no, Team Cena's lost a big, member of the team.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
the commentators were really hyping him up. And then Rusev gets eliminated next by count out because he
Cool spot.
good spot, good booking to keep Rusev strong, and good to keep the match going. Because what happened was Rusev put Ziggler on a table, and he tried to splash him through the table.
He's really, Rusev is he's a great face. He's trying to entertain the WWE universe by doing a big table spot.
Yep.
He's a legend. Rusev,
He's
goddamn, love this guy.
So he goes through the table himself, and obviously the 10 count he can't make.
They try and get him back in. Which
Yeah,
is
yeah. Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury try to lift him up and take him in, which is like the funniest thing because those two guys. It makes sense that they wouldn't be able to lift him.
Yeah.
Maybe if Triple H helped, you could feasibly see it. But yeah, so he gets eliminated. Next is Eric Rowan getting eliminated by Luke Harper. So now we have.
So they popped big when they first got in the match.
Yeah, that's
Together.
another thing of they tease giving you something, but then they don't.
Yeah,
When
that was really good. That was really good.
Luke Harper and
And
Eric Rowan
and
in the ring.
typical Seth Rollins, who was a great heel. Just prevented it from happening because he was a good leader there because he didn't want Harper to get the best of his emotions.
Ah,
He wanted him to kind of, just okay, you might do something you might regret or you might fuck up
yeah,
if you plan your emotions. That was why it was a good tag there,
yeah.
while also teasing the crowd and going, fuck you guys, maybe later, which it will happen sooner or later.
Yeah,
They will face. I think it could be good.
because Eric Rowan seems to be really connecting with the crowd somehow.
He's improving big time too. That
I,
spin kick was great.
I must say, and they're not leaving him in the lurch.
No,
Because
no.
this is something that I've noticed it at least with the Shield and the Wyatt family, is that they have everything for every member to do. They've got something for every member to do.
Hmm.
It's not like we predicted with Rollins or something, or everyone thought, oh, this is just a vehicle for Dean Ambrose, and the other two guys are just going to fall by the wayside.
Yeah.
No, what this is doing is this is elevated Ambrose, it's elevated Reigns, and it's elevated Rollins, and at the same time, you got Bray Wyatt, who's fine on his own. He's always been fine on his own, but it's elevated Luke Harper and it's elevated Eric Rowan
Yes.
at the same time. Because Eric Rowan is now main eventing a pay per view. Who would have
Mhm.
thought that?
And then when he did next episode as well was also a great mid card spot for him now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's found a niche, I think, and the crowd is really on his side. So
The crowd got on him this episode on Survivor Series, and then they really got behind him on Raw too. So,
yeah,
yeah, honestly, I think most people would have said Eric Rowan is going to amount to nothing. In fact, I probably said that at some point. I
yeah,
probably said that's it. He's just going to do nothing after the Wyatt family. But you know what? I'm glad to be hopefully wrong here, and
yeah.
we could
Me
get some
too.
really interesting stuff.
Yeah,
So
and so next guy eliminated was John Cena.
this
Um,
was a shock as well, I
Shocker.
guess. I mean, it's a shock because it wasn't a shock. Like Big Show turning is always it happens so many times.
Yes,
Um,
but at the same time, no one you didn't really think he'd do it this time.
no.
You never think he's gonna do it. So he KO punches John Cena, and then I guess Seth Rollins gets the pinfall on that one. And now at this point, I realized John Cena hadn't really been in the ring that much, had he?
No.
He was maybe in there maybe 2-3 minutes, but most of the time he was on the outside cheering on his team. So the moment he really gets tagged in, he gets eliminated almost immediately. And you got to think at this point because like Big Show realizes Eric Rowan's gone, Ryback's gone. Dolph Ziggler at this point he spent a lot of time in the ring getting totally beaten,
Hmm.
and he looked done. He looked completely done. And Big Show probably realized, oh, John Cena's am I the only one left? Maybe if I help out the Authority by eliminating Cena, then I'll keep my job or whatever if they win eventually. So he was thinking for himself, I guess, which okay, fine, I don't really care. It makes sense enough.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so he then knocks Cena out. Cena gets pinned, and then he goes and he voluntarily gets counted out. So now
Yeah.
you're down to Dolph Ziggler versus Kane, Luke Harper, and Seth Rollins. And this is the point where the match really picks up for me. I mean, it was pretty good up until this point. It had a lot
Hmm.
of moments, but this whole thing really I think made Dolph Ziggler a star. And you can talk about this if you like, because I know you're.
No, yeah, I completely agree. It does make him a star. I mean, he's always been a star, but this is even more of a re-establishment, definitely. He really the way. The thing is that this would not have worked if John Cena was the last man standing, because they would have been cheering for the Authority to win. They would have been cheering for Rollins. They would have been cheering for them all. Everyone loves to see Cena get beat up. So having it be Ziggler was way smarter. Was smart.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was. It really
it was a
was.
good idea. People love to cheer for Ziggler. People love to get behind him, and people secretly thought, "Nah, he's not going to win this. No way." So the fact that he was able, when he was eliminating everyone one by one, incredible, incredible moment, incredible selling. He made everyone look tough while also just being able to basically on instinct alone, being able to get the win. And get the pins, I guess.
Yeah. Now
So
at this point, there's still a good at least almost 20 minutes left in the match. After Big Show leaves, there's about he gets according to this he gets counted out at 26:30, and the match goes for I believe it's 43 minutes.
yeah,
So at this point you still have 17 minutes left of the match, where it's just Dolph Ziggler versus three other guys, and the crowd is really getting behind him at this point. And then, he eliminates Kane, and it's like, oh, maybe there's still some hope. And it was really good selling by Triple H and Stephanie as well, because you can kind of see like that. I don't know how, but they have this kind of facial expression of, oh no, we've lost him, but it's okay because we still have these two other guys.
Yeah.
That whole like idea and like thought process they had into like one facial expression, which is really cool. And then shortly after that he rolls up Luke Harper.
So he
For a
doesn't like clean pin, like he clean pins him, but he doesn't clean like beat him in terms
Yeah,
of like beating him, like, which is good because it makes him like a superhuman. If he's able to cleanly 100% pin all of them, it kind of makes him look like especially because he's been beaten the shit up. Do you know what I mean? A lot of it makes sense he didn't get a clean pin on Luke Harper, or like a clean, like a power move finisher on him. Rather a strategic roll up with the tights as well.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
Because otherwise he would have like because he only actually cleanly defeated Kane if you think
Mhm.
about it. But
Yeah.
and then he hung in there with Seth
But also
Rollins.
he was in the match before this whole thing happened, so he would like realistically he still did an incredible job. You
Yeah,
know what I
because
mean? It's not
I
it's
know
not taking none of it's taking away his ability or
the,
his resilience.
yeah there was a stretch of time after Ryback was eliminated where Rusev just totally beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I mean, like he'd taken his fair share of beating before, and that's why Big Show KO'd Cena because Ziggler looked absolutely stuffed.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, so there was like another like I guess 10 minute spot or so, or even more, where it was Ziggler versus Rollins, and this was absolutely this was hot. The crowd was hot for this,
hmm
and so I guess Ziggler got the zigzag on Rollins, goes for the pin, 1, 2, Triple H pulls the referee out, tremendous, absolutely tremendous, and then he calls like another referee comes down, and then he goes for the pin again, and then Triple H comes in the ring, actually dejects the referee himself, and then he starts like, okay, I'm going to have to take this to my own hands. Does the pedigree to Dolph Ziggler. Everything's
hmm
fucked now. He's like, he does the pedigree to him. Everything looks, there's no hope in the world. Covers Rollins on top of him. He's just done at this point. He's taken a lot of beating. Scott Armstrong, the crooked referee from over a year ago. Let's not
Yeah.
forget this. Crooked referee from over a year ago comes out, but by Triple H's request, and it's looking like there's going to be this like poetic thing. The crooked referee counts the pinfall. Authority stays in power. He comes out 1, 2, and then this is the moment. This is the moment everyone needs to watch this pay-per-view for. You hear the crow. You hear the sound effect of the crow. You hear the music. The lights go down, and who comes out? Sting. Sting comes out. For the first time in his entire career, he's in a WWE ring, and the place goes bananas for him. They go crazy. It pops big time for Sting. And he comes out, and he has this, I guess, 2 minute stare down with Triple H. And
3 minutes.
3 minutes? 3 minute stare down with
Went for a
Triple H.
while.
The crowd is into every single second of this, because this is a moment. This is an absolute moment that everyone needs to see. Is Sting in the ring there with Triple H. And,
He mouths like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Or who do you think you are?
yeah,
Something
Triple
like
H
that.
mouths that to Sting, and the place is just is unglued at this point. Like this is something that everyone has been waiting 13 years to see Sting in a WWE arena, and this is the
Yeah.
kind of thing that makes pay-per-views, and this is the kind of moment that will like live down forever in time.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing that everyone will talk about for like
Yeah.
years to come. It's like the moment
Yeah.
that Sting came into WWE, and it's a fantastic spot for him. Like they handle his debut in WWE perfectly, and he comes in. He has that he does the Scorpion Death Drop to Triple H.
Yeah.
He
Looks great.
it looked good. It looked fine. And then he covers he gets Ziggler and he covers Rollins. The referee from before suddenly revives himself. Whoever, whatever, and then counts to three. Ziggler wins. Sole Survivor. Authority's done. Sting debuts. Ziggler wins. What more could you ask for a finish of a pay-per-view?
Yeah.
This was I had no problems with this at all. I thought that Sting's debut was handled excellently. I thought that the few moments like with the Ziggler celebrating in the ring by himself was like that felt emotional. Like that was a real good
Yeah.
moment too.
Great stuff.
The
Great stuff. He
the moment
deserves it.
he did he really did, and you felt like I don't know. I just felt like then they're gonna follow through with this one.
I hope so.
I
The
just
only
hope.
thing that makes me worried is that like Cena might take some of the credit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I hope
and
that doesn't happen.
so Cena comes out and celebrates to end the show. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic, excellent Survivor Series tag team match. Excellent. I would give this maybe 5 stars if I was really going to go that far.
Hmm.
I can't find a single problem with this match.
Yep,
It was booked perfectly.
I
Don't you
think so.
agree? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
And then they follow through with it on Raw by having Daniel Bryan come in as the
That was
special
good.
guest referee.
That was
And
nice.
that was a good capstone to the whole Authority storyline because it started with Daniel Bryan, and then they came out and gave a promo on Raw the following night, and he's actually
Yeah,
there to,
yeah.
farewell them sort of thing, like yesing in their face, getting the whole crowd going. So that was a great moment too, actually. That was a fantastic Raw moment with Daniel Bryan seeing the Authority leave the arena. And yeah, overall, for all the problems we talked about, the Adam Rose bullshit, the Divas match, whatever, Cesaro, Fandango, all that shit. For all that shit, I think it was more than made up for with the main event.
No, I completely agree.
So this is a really good Survivor Series. Definitely check it out. Any final thoughts, Christopher?
Any final thoughts? You know, I have to just agree. Really, that's really all that could be said. I think because I was very happy with the. I was watching my brother.
Yeah.
Told him who Sting was. He was pretty pumped for it, even though like he didn't really know him, and even though to be honest, I didn't really know that much about Sting. To be perfectly honest, I've seen shit all of his WCW stuff, but
Yeah.
even I can recognize how much of a big deal it was,
Yeah.
and it felt like a big deal. And if WWE makes it feel like it's a big deal, it's going to go over. That's why they always should try and do that. Always should be trying to impress people. Always should be trying to treat things as a big deal.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how you follow up with that? You don't have him on Raw the next night, which they didn't do. It was tremendous. It was like they mentioned him and stuff, but you make him an attraction by showing him not frequently. That's the whole TNA thing about him. Because I mean, he was Sting really has been active as a wrestler for like the last decade.
Yeah,
You know, but now it's suddenly a huge deal that is in WWE because in TNA he was used all the time,
yeah,
and he was actually in TNA. If you, I don't know if you ever watched back just 6 7 years ago.
a little bit.
Sting was there was the real problem it was that they pushed him constantly and they made him champion over younger guys,
Yeah,
and they really used him because at that time I guess he was still a draw. I mean he's a draw now probably, but back then like he was their real one of their only draws.
yeah,
So they just forced him down your throat, sort of thing. And even going like a year ago, he was still constantly featured all the time, and that was the sort of problem with it. Was and the argument all the time is oh Hulk Hogan was in TNA and never no one get Mick Foley, Ric Flair and Sting, all these people were in
yeah.
TNA, but now everyone cares. But the reason is because when they were all in TNA, they were showing up every single week,
Yeah.
and that's the same
But
thing.
that's because they are contracted stars. Like there's a difference though. They have you have Sting, you want to use him, but they use him in a wrong way.
Yeah,
They use him by going over everyone when he should be used to put over people. But like or go over, but only if like it really is for the story.
if it
I
makes
mean,
sense
if it
to
makes
make it
sense,
good.
you don't just job him out like with Jericho losing to everyone.
Yeah.
Like you make it so, it's worthwhile to lose or to win. And the problem is, yeah, they ended up just keep making him win all the time, and it
Yeah.
didn't, and so it made it not feel like as much of a big deal when he was there. But with this, they can use him right, and hopefully they do some good,
Eh,
hopefully do some good stuff.
I wouldn't be upset if I saw Triple H first Sting, to be perfectly
No, I
honest.
wouldn't be upset. No.
That wouldn't upset me at
I'd
all.
rather see that than Triple H. I mean, sorry, than Undertaker. Like I just think the Undertaker's done. Like honestly, he was
Yeah,
shit in the match against Brock. I
yeah.
know he got injured early on, but nah, dude, that guy is just
See, the thing about Sting versus Taker though at WrestleMania is now with the streak gone, you could potentially see Sting winning that match. It
yeah.
it, it just it leaves it open for like with the streak gone. If Undertaker was to have one more match at WrestleMania, I feel that the hype and the aura and the people have been talking about for years and years and years. I think you have to see Sting versus Taker. It needs to
I
happen.
don't. I don't personally. I don't really care.
I j-
I
it,
don't really, because I've never really cared for Taker. I've always been a big Taker disliker because I know about his backstage shit, and he's not the angel that everyone says he is. He was the wrestler's court, all that kind of shit was a bullying scheme. You know what I mean? And everyone like tries to say, he was a locker room leader, but I think he's a bit of a dick. So I
okay,
don't
but
really
sure, but taking that out of it, total 100% kayfabe.
taking that out of it
Yeah,
as well. I'd actually prefer Triple H.
really?
Seriously, and I'm a Triple H hater. I like hate the guy for most of the time I talk about him, but I think that it would be a better match. I know there's a point of icon versus icon type thing with Undertaker, but I'm saying from a match perspective, I don't want to see the. I mean, I don't hate the guy, but as a wrestler, I don't want to see him continue to get worse.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
because do you want to see Ric Flair fight again? Fuck no.
no, but
He
that's
is
that's what they did in
done.
TNA.
And
He was so
exactly, they
shit.
did that in TNA, and it was a dumb idea. Yeah, I mean, I understand why they did it at the time, but it was dumb. But with Taker, he's only going to get worse. The guy suffered like a concussion or a serious, like a bad injury at
Yeah.
Mania last year against Brock.
hmm
Why are we going to assume he's going to get any better?
But the thing with Undertaker too is you can't just that can't be your last memory of him lying there and then walking out totally like depressing. That can't be
That can be.
that. that
That can be. That's a perfect way to. He's an old school guy. He wants to go out on his back, and like what more of a shocking way to have him finally defeated?
Yeah, I think you need to hype up his retirement match though. You can't just throw out a match and say, "Oh, by the way, hey guys, that was his retirement. Hope you enjoyed it."
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't think you can. I really don't think you can. I don't think you can do that with anyone. I think everyone needs to have a send off, at least some kind of acknowledgement that that was their last
Should
match.
CM Punk ever send off?
But that's different. That's more political than storyline based. I'm
I
saying
guess.
Ric Flair 24 building that up as his retirement match was perfect. I mean, as a possible retirement match for him was perfect because that way you knew that going into it the stakes were high. That if he lost, that would be it for him. So that's why that worked. I don't think you can have Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar and say that oh he may continue, he may not. We'll see what happens. I think you need to have a definitive. If they lose, that's it kind of stipulation.
Yeah, yeah,
But
definitely.
but going back to the Sting thing, I think the thing with Sting, he needs to wrestle at least once on Raw. I think he needs to wrestle a Raw match because his career would need to be. I think that would cap it off in terms of television because I think every superstar needs to wrestle one Raw match if they're gonna like.
Wait, who do you want to do a Raw match?
I think Sting should wrestle at least once on Raw. I think he should.
You reckon?
I think because he was such a pivotal character on Nitro
Yeah.
all those years. I think he just needs.
Should Brock Lesnar have a match on Raw?
Well, no, because he's already wrestled on Raw many times. I just think
True.
Sting's never wrestled on Raw. I think he should wrestle on Raw at least once. I'm only saying
Not in a tag match though.
no, yeah, maybe in a singles match against someone.
Yeah.
Maybe just have him like just not squash someone, but like him versus I don't know, pick a heel, just like a credible heel.
Seth Rollins.
Him versus Seth Rollins. That'd be a good Raw match because that'd be the past versus the present or whatever. There you go, book it, and then you have to have him wrestle at WrestleMania. Those are the only two things you really need to do with him. Raw and WrestleMania. Those are the only two things.
Issue is that if you have him wrestle before Mania, people might be like, oh well, we've seen him wrestle on Raw now.
Well, have him wrestle after Mania on Raw because
Maybe the night after.
You're not saying the night after WrestleMania. That's perfect.
Good massive crowd.
Massive crowd, big moment,
Pop.
big pop, yeah, and even everything feels special the night after WrestleMania.
Definitely.
And I just think Sting now officially being in WWE arena and that kind of thing because we'd seen him on those panels and stuff, but you never seen him like in a actual WWE televised program.
Yeah.
I think it opens a
I
lot.
don't know. I'm really looking forward to his CZW debut, to be honest.
Oh yeah,
Aren't you?
yeah, me too. That's perfect. But, it's also funny. I kind of got this vibe that when Sting appeared at Survivor Series, it felt like a sort of capstone to an era. I think
Yeah.
Sting debuting that was the last guy from WCW who never appeared on Raw to appear, and that kind of it felt like it closed the book there for me. But then then it opened a new one.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
Didn't that Raw after Survivor Series? Didn't that Raw this week feel like something like it felt like the start of something new?
Well, the end of the episode means that it could be going back to.
Well, I don't think the anonymous general manager thing is a permanent thing.
No, I don't think it is either. But I
I think
think
they're just going to cycle through. Hey, look, it's
No,
been
but I
called.
think what they're going to do, my guess is that they're going to make all these terrible general managers, right, be so bad that people will be begging for the authority back.
You reckon?
Yeah, because
Well,
they said that, and then they've mentioned it, and they always do that. So
well,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, but isn't the anonymous raw general manager Hornswoggle? Haven't we like?
yeah, that's kind of. I
Unlo
think it's an anonymous general manager.
oh,
Yeah,
and not the anonymous, another
yeah,
one.
from an
So some people have said
anonymous.
it's Bad News Barrett
That wouldn't be against it.
because like you know how he hits his
Gong,
gavel thing.
gavel.
Yeah, like someone said like, oh yeah, he hits that all the time after he finishes speaking, and if you heard all like the beeping sounds on Raw, it's like the sound of the gavel or something.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a possibility, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to see what comes in the next few weeks. Apparently, um, TLC is only like what 2 weeks from next Sunday, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's coming up. It's like mid-December or something,
Yeah,
I
it's gonna be
believe.
good.
So we're gonna have like a period of time. Like I think TLC never really feels that big, to be honest.
Except, of course, for 2011.
Yeah, okay, that time it felt big. But I mean, like, TLC always has
Brian
this
and
kind of like it has like it's a fun Christmassy type pay-per-view. Because I remember the first TLC back in 2009. Like, the main event going into it was Jericho versus DX, which is a fun storyline. It was
yeah.
just fun. It was fun. Um, and then before that, I think you had like Sheamus versus Cena, and you had a good ECW match, and you had Morrison versus McIntyre, which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
TLC is not really a serious pay per view, which I think they shouldn't make it a serious thing. We need a bit of a light-hearted few weeks. Let's alleviate some of the seriousness of everything. Let's make it a bit light-hearted.
Yeah.
I think we can do that. I think they owe it to us just to like relieve some tension. I mean, the good guys win. Let's let them revel in it for a few weeks at least. Is what I'm saying. So anyway, yeah, we'll be back with our review or preview for TLC, which should be coming up in a few weeks' time. So thanks for
Yeah, but
uh,
before that, we'll do a NXT R Evolution
well,
show.
isn't that after what date's that?
That's like in, isn't it? Isn't it in? I think NXT.
Oh, it's the
NXT.
12th of December, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
So that'll be coming up. We'll probably upload our review of that in the same
We
week.
won't do a preview one
Yeah,
because usually there's a lot of matches that get added to the card
yeah.
or something like that. So, but
So
we'll do.
well, our next show will be the predictions show, and then after that we'll do the review show of Revolution or
Well,
R.
we're not going to predict. We're not going to predict our evolution,
No,
are we?
no. So TLC, I said.
Okay, yeah, that's
Because
cool.
see what happens is on Thursday is NXT,
Yeah,
our Revolution, and then
yeah.
the following Sunday or Monday for us is TLC.
Ah, okay,
So
cool.
so in like the
Gee, good
space,
time to be a fan right now.
good time to be a fan of WrestleSpin because we'll have like 3 shows within a week or so,
Yeah, all on different
all
channels.
on different channels. So you have to be go to our website, which you can see at
Yeah,
slidespin.tv.
just go there. That's easy to do it like that.
And yeah, you'll see all our WrestleSpin episodes are all up
Yep.
there. Thanks for watching. If you stayed all the way through to the end of it. More to come on slidespin.tv, I guess.
That's it.
That's it. All right, we'll see you later. Bye.